I'm not like the first girl this has ever happened to. I can handle my shit, Esther. I was pregnant, and now I'm not. It's done. This is exactly why I didn't want to tell my family. I didn't want their, intense concern to be a constant reminder of one night of awkwardness with Ethan Brown and a couple of months of bullshit that followed that in the grand scheme of things will have no effect on my life at all. 10 years from now, or by the time that I'm 27, I'm gonna have really good cheese. The kind of cheese that you see on those little tables in the supermarket, and it won't be a big deal that I buy artisanal cheese from Whole Foods. Not because I necessarily want to be rich, but I feel like that's the kind of thing you do when you have your life together. You know what I mean? And I'll have books next to my cheese, and when my friends come over, we'll all talk about books. And the fact that I got an abortion my senior year of high school won't be a big deal because we'll all be talking about Raymond Carver and whether he was really that good or if he just wrote really short sentences. And everybody was like, that's chill, I guess he's a genius. And I'm not saying that I want my whole life to be about books and good cheese, but my life amounts to more than this. So stop coming up to me in between classes to ask if I'm okay because I'm fucking fine, Esther. Seriously. Hi, I'm Simone Grossman. When I was a little kid, I went through a phase of compulsive lying, and my parents were really understanding about it. I think they knew it was a phase, but I don't think it was lying to better myself. It was just to entertain others and me, most importantly. I'd come home from school and tell my mom about all the fairies that I met in the park or something like that, and she'd be like, "That's great, Simone, good for you." But there was one time, I think it was my last year of kindergarten, that we had a teaching assistant come in just for a month from Germany. And I had the biggest crush on him. I thought he was so beautiful, and I was so young, so all these little kid emotions were so intense. And naturally I was like, I'll just tell my best friend Elizabeth that I saw my mom kissing him on the lips, not understanding that that's a really bad thing to do. So my mom comes and picks me up from kindergarten, and my teacher pulls her aside, and it's like, "So Simone has been telling students that you were kissing one of her teachers." And I don't really know how the rest of that meeting went, but I'm sure it wasn't great. So my mom in the car on the way home was like, "Simone, you can tell as many stories as you want when you're at home, but when you're at school, you can't do that anymore." I was like, okay, as long as I don't get in worse trouble, that's great. And I think maybe acting, me discovering acting was maybe a healthier outlet for that sort of need to entertain, which is something that is a big passion in my life. So I'm grateful for that. But yeah, it was either that or I was just a really bad kid.